Digital media and traditional media. What do you know about it? We've seen female journalists moving from mainstream media to the digital media. Others have shows of their own. Others have podcasts. Others have YouTube channels where they host either weekly or monthly shows. And it has been really going on well for them. On the show today, I have one of the best female faces on our screens these days. She's called Emma, and I would invite her to introduce herself. Tell us who she is and where she works, what's her drive.
Thank you.
And how does it feel to be a female journalist in our era?
Thank you very much, Ruth, for having me today. It feels different sitting on this other side of the corner, like I was telling you before we started, that now I understand why my guests are always nervous, because I'm always sitting the other side. Today I get to sit on this other side, and it's my first time being interviewed. So thank you for having me. My name is Emma Akwero. I'm a journalist with the Vision Group, and yes, but most especially for One Law TV and for the New Vision newspaper. So I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, it's always a bit challenging to interview a veteran.
I don't think I'm a veteran.
Especially,
but thank you.
Especially the fact that you've been in the space for a very long time. And how does it feel to be on TV, to be interviewing people?
Actually, I haven't been in the media space for a very long time. That's maybe something that many people don't know. I only started 5 years ago. Strange, right? So I'm those stories that one will call a career shift, something which is not very common in Uganda. For someone to study something and then you end up doing something completely different. So I went to the business school. I didn't study journalism, and I wasn't even practicing journalism. I wasn't in the media space, but it's something that I've always enjoyed and loved to do. So I was a procurement manager, not until 5 years ago.
Wow, interesting.
But I think it's one of those things that was always in me, but I hadn't realized that I could actually do very well. Sometimes people see things in you that you don't see. So a few friends used to always tell me, oh, you can do this very well. You can do this very well. So give it a shot. So in 2020, I just took a step of faith, and I left my procurement job and I joined the media, and I've been enjoying it since. I always tell my family and friends that I should have been here long time ago,
because you feel like you belong.
Yes, I don't struggle very much, thank God. But so I wouldn't call myself a veteran. I've only been here for 5 years. Yes.
5 years is quite a long time.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so you've built your career in traditional media, like you've been in TV, and you're still on TV. What first drew you to become a TV presenter, and how has it shaped your work from procurement to being on our screens?
Okay, like I said, having just shifted careers, I remember back then growing up, I used to love TV for a very long time. I still do. Only that TV is not very many people watch TV anymore, but I used to love TV. I used to watch and use all the shows on TV. I knew all the programs. Up to until even when I was working as a procurement manager, I would stay up late watching TV. And I remember when I had just started working, because I started working when I was in senior 6 VAC. So I've always had a job. And because I was young and maybe you still don't have your things, you've not yet put yourself together. Yeah. By the time I came to work late. And my boss, who was very understanding, asked me, why are you late? And I said, I stayed up late. I was watching TV. And he told me, the people that you're watching on TV are being paid, and you're watching them. And now, a few years later, I'm also being paid to be watched. So I think that's where the journey started, because I overwatch TV. And having joined the media space right now, I feel like all those things that I watched and learned growing up was easy to finally execute in my newfound career.
Oh, wow. So apart from being a TV presenter, do you hope maybe in future to explore digital media, like a podcast or maybe get on YouTube? Because you mentioned that people don't watch TV anymore, so you'd want to move with the trend.
No, don't get me wrong. People still do watch TV, although it is now shifting. In the media space, we call it traditional media, and the digital space, we now call it the new media. So yes, people still do watch TV, only that maybe the percentage has gone down a bit, because you're then limited to watch TV at a specific time, watch the news at exactly 9 p.m. and perhaps 9 p.m. you're still stuck in traffic. So slowly by slowly, the world is now shifting into the digital space, which is new media. And yes, of course, I have taken small steps into joining the digital space. But I must admit that sometimes it's not easy, because for someone like me who likes to think through things, I like to think that before I put myself out there, how am I putting myself out there? So yes, it's something that I've started to do slowly by slowly to embrace the digital space.
Okay, so what motivated you probably to start also venturing into digital media?
Oh, it still boils down to what I was saying earlier on, that one, it's the advent of technology and smartphones and everything else that has, slowly shifted people away from traditional media, and everyone is now embracing. I don't think there's anyone who doesn't own a smartphone, and with a smartphone comes with everything. So you're not limited to only sitting before your screen, your TV. You can, everything that TV was giving you is now on your phone. So for us, the broadcasters, to catch up with the digital world, we then have to ensure that what is on TV is also being, so you can do it as a journalist personally, but you can also do it as a media house. So yeah, it's one of the things that you need to keep, learning and unlearning, and ensuring that you keep abreast with what is going on in the world. So yes, it's one thing that has pushed me personally to join the digital space.
Oh, nice. Have you maybe found any moments where the work that you do as in the traditional media has benefited from the work that you do online, or maybe the online space has helped to amplify your traditional media work?
Oh yes, yes. So because what we do on traditional media, which is, for those of you who don't know what traditional media is, radio, TV, newspapers, magazines, that's the traditional media. Then the new media, which Ruth is calling the digital media, is majorly the social media that we have now. That is TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, all those platforms, which you can now find on your phone. So we are calling it the digital media or new media. So yes, what happens now is that whatever work that you do, you have to make sure that you amplify it on your digital space for the other audiences that are not stuck up in front of their screens to be able to watch. So yes, many times the shows that we have on TV, we then go ahead to upload it on the digital space. But one particular one that I felt was really amplified was a podcast that I produce. So what happens with the traditional media is there's so many gatekeepers. Like Ruth, there are producers, there are editors, there are sub-editors. So work goes through so many hands before it's being put out there. So sometimes you as the presenter, you don't get to do the other background work.
Yeah.
You get. So,
Yeah.
but in this case, I did the production, I did the editing, and I did the presentation. And then it was further amplified on a podcast and on YouTube, and it got lots of viewership. So that was the one particular work of mine that I felt that I was very happy about and proud about, that was being amplified on a podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
As a female journalist who is leveraging both the traditional and the digital media, we know that all these two spaces have challenges that comes with being on both spaces. What has been some of your toughest times, either being on the digital media or as a female journalist leveraging traditional media?
There are challenges, of course, that comes with both media, especially when I say traditional and new media. With the media, the good thing is that you get to see your results there and then. If you've written a story and it's been put out in the newspapers, and maybe the newspapers are really sold, then you know that, oh, my story was really good. If you had a show on TV and there were lots of viewerships, then you know that, oh, perhaps my news story was really good. Same with the new media. You've put out content on YouTube and it has lots of likes and videos. You see your results there and then. So that also comes with challenges of, for example, with traditional media, you are exhausted both mentally and physically. So you're carrying these microphones, you're carrying these seats, you're carrying, you know, for you to go out there and get the content. Then you're shooting, you're under the sun, you're running, you're doing what, then you're presenting.
And you have a deadline to meet.
You have a deadline to meet. Yes. So by the time you get home, you're mentally exhausted and you're physically exhausted. So those are one of the challenges, but it's very fulfilling when you see that your content and your story that you really struggled to put out there is being appreciated with lots of likes and whatever.
Yeah.
So the challenges are there, but it's also very fulfilling. With the digital space, there's something that you hinted on called online harassment. Thankfully, I haven't really encountered or gone through something like that. I think because I overthink through things, and
you're an overthinker.
Yes, so. And I'm always very careful how I put myself out there. So I haven't really experienced it. I'm very keen on what I put out there, but I know that online harassment is actually there, and people have to be more careful, be patient, and empathetic with other people.
Yeah. I'm so glad you're one of the, I think, the first female journalist that I've spoken to that has not experienced online harassment or doesn't pay attention to it, because in most cases, especially women who are now navigating, blending between both the traditional and digital media, there are lots of hurdles always.
Oh yes, that they are not. I think they. I always don't look at them like really challenges. There are comments here and there.
Yeah.
Because working with the Vision Group, I get to put content both in English and in my language, which is actually Luo. And sometimes when you're putting content in Luo, you can't help but put in a few English words, and then you'll hear a few bashes here and there. Oh, why can't you speak this all throughout? But I don't call that harassment, because then I choose to maybe learn something from it to perfect my my spoken law or written, or sometimes I just choose to just ignore.
Okay.
Yes, the harassment or whatever, bullying.
Okay.
Yeah.
So out of curiosity, has being a female journalist influenced the kind of stories that you write, you put out there, or the kind of guests that you interview, or maybe the kind of topics that you want to explore on your digital media?
On a larger scale, yes. Because if you're working for a media house, then sometimes you'll be given let's say a show, a product to present or to look for content on, and maybe they will tell you. For example, I used to contribute for the Her Vision column that comes out on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
So then I am dictated to go and get content on female stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a magazine for females. But personally, I don't think being a female should dictate what kind of stories I put out there. I feel like one is allowed to get
to have freedom of speech and expression.
Whatever story you feel interests you or interests your audience, I think you should go for it.
Yeah.
Don't be limited that, oh, I'm a woman, I can't cover this story on these cars, on these new military equipment that is being produced by China. No, you can. Yes.
What you've said just made me think of something. We've had right now podcasts have come out, like there are lots and lots of podcasts online, and people have like a specific storyline that they're pursuing. If it's a group of women, then they'll be talking about motherhood, sisterhood, and so mentioning that as a woman, being your gender shouldn't dictate the kind of stories that you put out there, really means a lot.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So do you think like the digital spaces offer more opportunities to women as compared to traditional media? Let's say for a woman who is predominantly traditional in the traditional media, and one who is blending both traditional and digital, which one has like who has higher chances of being visible, higher chances of making it in the industry?
Well, I feel like women have embraced the digital space more than the men. The research in the US states that 50% of women use digital media,
Yeah.
compared to 49% of men
Yeah.
in the US. And which is not so far off. There's that 1% difference, but still women are using more digital media, which is TikTok, YouTube. There's so many women on TikTok. There's so both as content creators and both as consumers.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing for both, for both parties. So yes, I'd say these platforms are giving more opportunities for women, or women are the ones who are taking opportunity to exploit the digital space. Men are also doing it, but some men don't really like being on TikTok and all the other digital
women are
spaces.
becoming very aggressive and pursuing,
yes,
the
but
digital
maybe
media.
they have their own. The more men on Twitter and X, sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really nice. So since you're straddling both worlds, in your own words, which one holds more water? Like traditional, digital, without being biased?
I don't want to say which one holds more water, because if you speak to some people, they will tell you, oh, print media is now in the evening of its days. But some people will tell you that, oh, print media, which is newspapers and magazines, will never go out. And some people will tell you that people don't buy newspapers anymore, but others will argue that people still buy newspapers. So if you ask me, yes, there's that big group of people that no longer consume traditional media. Like, you will speak to a few friends of yours who will tell you, oh, I don't watch TV. Do you still watch TV? Everyone has a smart TV, and on a smart TV there's digital content, really, and not our traditional media. So sometimes it will be I don't think we have the opportunity, or we have the leeway to say, oh, I prefer this, or traditional media is going down and digital. I think it's one of those things that will take its own course, as time goes on. Maybe traditional media will come back and maybe not. It's just upon us, the consumers, to see how we can maximize the digital space, for the betterment of our lives. And also to note that maybe if you're out there and you're embracing digital media, you should be keen on how you use it, and not because now there's research has also shown that digital media, like social media, is now one of the causes of mental health. Because you're going to see someone, Ruth has a nice shoe, you can afford Ruth's shoe, and you want it just because you've seen it on YouTube or whatever. So I think we have to be more intentional on how we use digital media. I know friends who only use digital media to make money. Their content on YouTube is only for money. Their content on TikTok is only for money. It's not just you who just sits from 11 midnight to scrolling through TikTok. Yes.
Yeah. But you've talked about social media. Social media lies a lot. We've had people who've gotten depressed because of the things they see online. And the behind the scenes, before you see those flashy things online, it lies a lot. For example, we've seen young girls seeing consuming content on TikTok, consuming content maybe on Instagram, and seeing people showing off flashy cars, flashy shoes, flashy phones, and then they compare themselves and want to be like that. Yeah, so it's always good for young girls to be careful while because the age it's the young people who consume we just consume content online.
Easily consume social media compared to the older.
Yeah.
But also the older people consuming social. Have you seen this grandma on TikTok who has so many views and follow? I like her content.
Yeah.
Yes.
Grandma is she's creating and she's making a killing out of it.
Yes.
But for our young ones, we're just consuming and not and using the productive time to just view people's content.
Yeah.
And that is time that they could have used to do something productive.
Exactly.
Yeah. So as someone who works for I would say a national broadcaster, how do you see the relationship between these two worlds, the digital journalism and traditional journalism, evolving in Uganda?
I feel like it's actually the same thing. It's the same thing. It's just that back then, before new media came, digital media came, that was traditional media.
Yeah.
So in my eyes, TV and YouTube is the same. It's just that YouTube is being consumed through the internet and TV is consumed from your TV right in front of you. So I think we're on the right trajectory as Uganda, that people are now starting to consume digital media from all walks of life, and you can get anything right now on digital media. People are no longer even using Google to find out things. They'll go on TikTok, how to eat, how to prepare food, how to be a good podcaster. Everything is now on the digital space.
Yeah.
So yes, we are on the right trajectory, only that I think people like you, like Gender Tech Podcast, you have to really emphasize where, like you said, the young people are maybe going astray, and throw more light on how to use new media, digital media, you know, to better yourself, and also the government to make sure that internet is actually affordable.
Oh yes, internet is quite expensive.
Yes.
You load your 2 GB and then you get a notification.
That it is done in just a few minutes.
Makes it hard for us to stay online.
Yes, yes, very true.
And then we've also seen the influx of unlimited internet that slows down towards the end of the month. Then like opening a page takes like almost 3 minutes. So that also.
So those are the challenges that might still make traditional media thrive.
So the government should really come out and reduce the costs of internet.
Yeah.
They need to regulate the internet service providers.
Exactly.
To be, I would say, lenient to the masses, because then the future is digital, and we need to carry everyone along.
Very true.
I
agree.
Do you know, Miss Emma, very many young girls look up to you.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Sometimes you don't know these things. Okay.
Yeah, very many young girls look up to you. So what advice would you want to tell them, especially those who are either already practicing digital traditional media, or those who are yet to join the traditional journalism and want to also have a blend of both worlds?
Oh, you see, Ruth, times have changed now. You cannot tell someone that, you have to do, like me, I wasn't in, I had a career shift, like I shared earlier on, and I just moved. Back in the days, they would tell you, for you to be a very good presenter, you needed to have started from TV, from radio, from radio presenting, then you go into TV presenting, then you will ace it.
Yeah.
But times have changed. You'll find someone presenting her content very well on TikTok, and they've never been a radio presenter. They have never been a TV presenter.
Yeah.
So now you cannot tell someone that, you need to start from here for you to thrive here. I will tell someone who wants to join the media space. They have already joined. Everyone is on TikTok now and social media. I'll just say that I think through it, understand who you are, and agree and know how you want to put yourself. Don't just wake up and do something because you want likes and follows and whatever. Assess yourself and understand that this is what I want to do. This is my intention. Do I want to cook? Do I want to be a sports person? Do I want to sell digital content like Ruth? Do I want to be a hairdresser? Do I just want to be a dancer? And work towards that, hone your craft in that field, and then so that you're better in it. Now you cannot tell someone that do this for you to be this. So the world is a free space now. Only make sure that you hone that particular craft of yours and make better of it so that you're the best at it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this also goes to those who are slowly building an online presence and intend to stay there. And so it's always good to hone your craft, like have a niche, and capitalize on that, and don't have like different themes. And there, the Facebook calls it algorithm.
Oh yes,
I think the algorithm will get lost. It will be confused.
Oh yes,
and
sometimes you can't control the algorithm. It will keep bringing it for you.
Yeah. Yes. So the what tracks our presence online and what brings in those notifications on our feeds is the algorithm.
Oh yes.
So if you focus on a particular niche, it makes it easier for you. For example, if you're doing content on let's say skincare.
Oh yeah.
It will bring for you people who keep scrolling skincare, and then your business or your niche, your whatever you're trying to project online will be their faces.
Yes.
And it will be very easy for you to reach them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then how about female journalists or someone, a young girl out there who is contemplating joining journalism? There's a myth out there. It used to be a myth then, and it's still a myth right now, that journalism is a male-dominated field, so women can't thrive. So what has been your superpowers that have made you thrive as a female journalist who came from
Ruth,
the procurement?
You're really blowing my trumpet.
I have to, like you've transitioned from this 9 to 5 procurement lady, and then now you're essing. You're all over in our faces on TV.
That's not true. Very many people don't even know me. But
so what has been really that your superpowers? What has made you keep there?
I think there are 2 questions. There's one where you asked someone who wants to join journalism, right? So let me start with that.
Okay.
I think journalism is one of those things that, I don't know if you've heard of citizen journalism. Yes. So we're all journalists now.
Yeah.
You're walking on the street and you see something that you like. The road is flooding. You take a picture and you put it on social media. That's journalism already.
Yeah.
So the smartphone has made all of us journalists. It's just that now the traditional journalists have to go a step further. I think very many media houses or journalists have talked about this before, and they continue to talk about it, that it has become difficult for you to stand out as a journalist now, because everyone is now a journalist. So as a broadcaster, now you have to go a notch higher by getting that content that someone on the roadside took, and then maybe you investigate further, find out what happened, the whys, the whens, and follow up on the story.
But that is something that citizen journalists don't do.
Exactly. Now
they are good at breaking.
Yes, that is what will set you apart. But it's become something that all of us are now doing, whether subconsciously or consciously. So everyone is now a journalist. So, like you said, what sets you apart? I think it should be a passion of yours. I always like to tell my friends, I could be wrong, but I like to think journalism is like IT.
Oh yeah.
I know very many IT people who have gone to school and they still don't do IT. Because they're not passionate about it. They don't like it. And I also know people who have not gone to IT.
Talk to me directly. I did IT. I did IT for 3 years at the university. And then I was practicing journalism.
See?
Back to back.
See?
Yeah.
Yes. So
the tech thing just came in.
Exactly. I feel like IT and journalism,
They complement each other.
And it's more of passion that really makes you thrive.
Yeah.
You know, because then if you're passionate, you'll do it very well, you'll excel, you'll go and go back and study, make sure that you improve where you're weak at.
Yeah.
Same with IT, you know, it's some of those things that, you know, it's your passion that sets you apart.
Exactly.
Vis-a-vis whether you studied it in school or not.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've really enjoyed this conversation. I just wish you could go on over and over.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So any parting shots, Emma?
I think I'd like to say first of all, thank you for having me. It's my first time being on this other side of the table, being interviewed. So thank you very much for having me. And I like the conversation. I think this is just a conversation starter. Like there's so many things that we have to talk about.
Yeah.
You know, someone says that data is the new gold, but I think data comes with digital space.
Yeah.
You know, so digital is one of those inputs or those ingredients for data.
Yeah.
So I think it's something that we have to embrace and try and understand, because if we don't, it might, you know, affect us negatively, because right now you'll find families that don't even talk. Everyone is on their digital space, you know. Everyone is talking. People don't even have social skills. They go out to church and the preacher is talking on the phone. They go out to the bars, but they still can't mingle. So it's a good thing, but I think people like you from gender tech need to highlight maybe the cons, because then our kids may not even know how to socialize in 10 years or so. So yes, I think we still need some work to do to make sure that it doesn't ruin our human side.
I think we as people in these spaces can just do the most. The best we can do is to sensitize people and let them know the cons of overly relying on this, either on the gadgets or overly having these lights in our faces and scrolling and back to back.
Yes.
I think the most important thing is self-regulation. As parents, we need to know when to give the kids, or when to have the TV on, when to give the kids a tablet, or when to do this. Otherwise, we're going to have a generation that is, it's already happening, by the way.
Yes.
We've seen parents, I'm a parent, sometimes when the kids are, I would say, when the kids are tired, when the kids are becoming very naughty, you throw a tablet at them and they'll definitely calm down.
Yes.
Then that makes you think, what's really going to happen, you know, in the near future? Because we'll have a generation that feeds on on content online, as opposed to the physical interactions. Because
the tablet is now more important than you, mommy.
Exactly. Those are very important.
Yes.
It actually breaks my heart sometimes as a parent, seeing children overly relying on being given tablets back to back.
So there's still work to be done.
There's a lot of work to be done. And for the parents, we need to learn to regulate ourselves.
True.
And regulate these things.
Yes.
There is one thing that I always do. It's, you know, you can also regulate these things using technology. For example, you can, as a parent, you can pair your children's devices with yours. So you regulate, you decide what time they're supposed to be watching. You can control it remotely from wherever you are. So I think that self-education, self-sensitization on these digital tools that exist to help us regulate screen time.
Yeah. Very, very true.
Exactly. Otherwise, I'm so happy and I'm so excited that you finally, it took us, I would say, a long time to be able to have this conversation.
Yes,
finally
I agree.
Adulting,
they say.
Adulting is not easy.
Yes.
You know, and maneuvering digital and traditional lives.
Yes.
It's sometimes it gets very complex. Thank you for making the time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for speaking with us.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, our dear viewers. On set, again, I had Emma Akwero. Emma is, I like calling her a veteran female journalist. She works for one of the biggest media houses in Uganda.